Well, hey guys, hi, Brent Abel here. That dude over there is Jeff Jacklich. And today's topic of the Gold Ball Hunting podcast, this episode is about if you're getting ready to play a tournament for the first time in quite a while, we got something that we want you to really think about. So the big question is this: how are tennis players like us who never played in the tour, weren't incredible juniors, or maybe got a late start to the game, how do we consistently compete at our highest skill level without having to grind through endless hours of on-court practice time and still be in the hunt for victory match after match? That is the question, and Gold Ball Hunting gives you the answers by helping you eliminate your skill level range so that you build a strong foundation of confidence. My name is Brent Abel, and along with my biz partner Jeff Jacklich, welcome to Gold Ball Hunting. All right, well guys, hey listen, thanks for hanging out with us again today. Another episode of the Gold Ball Hunting podcast. JJ, what is going on, young man?
A little mixed crowd today on the weather. We had a little rain last night. Oh, what a surprise. It's Michigan. So I'm just getting ready to starting to do some organizing, a little bit of packing, going to ship some things back to California and getting ready. I got a week to go.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
And then you're heading to Texas for a few days and then Northern California. So listen, a couple things, guys, before we dive into today's topic is, if you're in the San Francisco Bay Area, you're looking for some great on-court instruction this fall, winter, and into the early spring, this guy is your man right here. Don't mess around with anybody else. Just go straight to Jeff Jacklich. He's going to give you the goods, and especially if you're a competitive tournament, a competitive league player, whatever you are doing that is competitive, singles and or doubles, he's definitely your guy. Jeff, you're going to have a couple of private courts, one here in Lafayette and then one up in the Napa Valley as well. Best way to get in touch with you is let us know at goldballhunting.com.
Yep, easiest way.
Okay, and then you're also over on Facebook. Just search Jeff Jacklich and you'll find the young man over there. And then the other thing is, sorry, go ahead.
I'm easy to find.
That's good. That's right. The other thing, guys, is listen, Jeff and I are offering a free coaching call. It's a private one-on-one free coaching call. And all we ask is you bring that one thing in your game right now. Could be one of four things, right, Jeff? Could be technique. Could be tactics or strategies. Could be old noggin, the mental part of the game. Or it could be physical, right? Something that's holding you back from getting the result you want, whether that's singles and or doubles. The way to get on that private call with us is just go over to, and what's the private call? 10 minutes, 12, 15, whatever we need, 15. Something like that,
Depends on how chatty I feel.
Well, that's that's definitely 15 minutes. Okay.
That's right.
Just go over to goldballhunting.com, drop in the first name and email address, click the button. You'll get access to our online calendar scheduler where you can pick a date and time that works best for your schedule. If you're already on our email list, dude/dudette, somewhere in any email you receive from us, there's a link. We'd love to get you on that free private call and see if we can't set you on the path to getting the ultimate result that you want from your tennis game. So Jeff, today I want to talk about that player who's really looking to sort of get back into, well, I guess either getting back into playing some tournaments or maybe league stuff, or maybe that player that is has never played a national event before.
Right.
And really, it's one thing for us to say, well, you got to go out there and kind of get slapped around a little bit, get your feet wet for a while. But I think that what I'm going to suggest, and I want to hear your opinion on this, Jeff, is I think that someone can do a better job of prepping for that first tournament. And it could be, look, guys, who if you're playing a lot of tournaments anyway, but you take that break, if you're here in the northern hemisphere, right? If you take that break from the fall, the winter, and then maybe you get back into it, maybe early winter or spring or late winter, something like that. But how do you best prep? What's like one thing, Jeff, that you could prep as you're getting ready for that first tournament so that you actually, even if you don't win a match or a round, or you get a round or two in there, but that you have set yourself up to get some epiphanies of what you just experienced in that tournament and maybe some takeaways about I can see. I'm good in this area,
Right.
but this area over here, I need to clean this up a little bit. What do you think?
Yeah, I think if you go in kind of guns a-blazing without like a being let's put it in the consistency category, right? If I just go in guns a-blazing and I'm kind of every point, every match, if you're fortunate enough to get through a match or two, is this kind of Wild West, going for big shots and that. And then when you do finally get slapped around a little bit, very difficult to figure out what not necessarily what went wrong, but what actually happened. What was he doing to me that put me in that kind of position? What was I not seeing to make an adjustment and at least feel like I was putting up some sort of fight in the battle there? So I think consistency is the best way to be able to kind of lay the canvas out so that when you go play, you're focused on doing just a couple of things that allow the point to develop, that allow things to actually unfold in front of you so you can recognize, wow, my serve placement needs to be a little bit better. I got a lot of serves in, but I didn't have the ability to move it around the box enough to really find out where his ultimate weakness on the return was. Felt good, like I said, got a lot of first serves in, but he was able to maneuver. The better guys, the guy that thumped me, really knew how to read my serve, and I didn't have enough range in the box. So now I can look back at that and go, okay, one, I'm doing great. I did a good job getting a lot of serves in, but now I need to be able to get some targeting. I need to improve my targeting, and that's going to change then my first opportunity to do a little damage.
Right.
Right. So that would be one. The other side of that coin, obviously, is return a serve, right? If I'm only making 2 returns, 3 returns every return game, and each game is it at 15 or love, and I'm only making 2 returns, okay, I got to know okay, that's a part of my game. But if I'm out there just swinging for the fences and stuff, I really don't know what's actually going on, you know. And if you can't, on the return to serve side, it's a real simple math equation. I can't break serve unless I make a minimum of 4 returns.
Yeah, no, that's right.
You got to put it into really narrow, simple terms so you can stay focused on the job at hand. Yeah. So that's kind of what I think anyways.
No, I think that's good. And I think, look, I think I'm guilty of this sometimes too. If I haven't played a tournament for a while, and I typically, I'm done now, right? So this is, if I don't make the team, which I've, made the team the last 2 years. So prior to that, I pretty much hang it up in terms of my mind gets out of playing tournaments after the hard courts in June. So I go pretty hard the first 6 months of the year, right? January and all that. Right. But by then I'm pretty well done until the next January. So for me, it's one of those things where I got to come back, and at the end of the first 6 months, I'm really content with feeling I don't have to bring a big bazooka to the party here. Right. I don't need to be hitting the big first serve. I don't need to be, hitting the big return. I don't need on the next shot to be going heavy to the corners. But the first tournament back for me, typically that's what I do, because there's that little kind of, okay, I don't know if I can stay in the point here. And so I think, guys, what Jeff is saying here is that when you're leading up to play that first tournament, and you haven't played tournaments for a while, is that you should be practicing working on your consistency. And consistency means a nice, safe height above the top of the net. It means bringing the ball into the middle third of the court. And it means not having that feeling like, oh my God, I've got to end the point.
Right.
I can't tell you. I got back from Croatia late last night, and we talked about it. One of the recent episodes, one of my epiphanies was kind of doing a little bit of the opposite of what I'm talking about now, which is kind of taking the threshold of the power up a little bit. And power is just the wrong word to be using because everyone thinks of, well, power means, okay, I'm gonna really do some damage and the ball is not likely going to come back. No, it's just a little more swing freedom at big points. Right.
A little more pace, a little more spin on the ball.
Right. But it's still a safe shot. It's still not missing the net. It's still not going to a corner. And so the bottom line is that I want you guys to be, and Jeff and I want you to be practicing consistency. And we're not giving you carte blanche to go out there and grind through cross-court drills as if that's what's being, because Jeff, we've belabored the point that 0 to 4 is the number that you've got to wrap your head around. And Jeff already alluded to, you got to practice that first serve in terms of targeting, and you got to practice that return of serves in terms of make the guy play.
Yeah.
Make the guy play. And if you can do that, then the 0 to 4 hits the majority category of points that we play. I think will give you the biggest epiphanies in that first tournament back, the biggest aha moments, things, takeaways that you can go back to your comfy confines and go, wow, like I said in the beginning, I'm good at this. But this area, I just need to clean this up a little bit.
Right.
And that could be the difference from getting through one round and then playing a number 9 seed and losing, as opposed to the next tournament, getting through a round and beating a number 9 seed.
Yeah.
So,
or at least taking them to task. And building that confidence, And so, the other part of that, is that the two things that players definitely don't spend either zero, little, and definitely not enough time. Did I say that 3 different ways? 0, little, or not enough time is the serve and return to serve.
Yeah.
And, and I can tell you, for me, those are the things that I focus on when I'm starting to prep and get ready, is that I'm looking for anybody who can serve a tennis ball. I'm looking for the young guys out there who are going to deliver something that's going to be upwards of 100 miles an hour or so. And if I can start to tune in on that and start to consistently square the racket to the ball and start to drop that return in, nothing big, nothing fancy.
Right.
But if I can start to read and clean that feel up, clean up that first move, a lot of times when I go play the Nationals, then, that serve, even the first serve, sometimes feels like literally, look, it's like milk-fed veal. It's like, yeah, baby, let's go.
Yes.
Yikes. So, but it is that area. There's 2 areas of the tennis court, though, that everybody kind of pushes off to the side. Because that's, how many times have you heard just walking down the court or with a lesson on the court? Yeah, I really need to get out and start hitting some serves. Okay, I've heard that how many millions of times,
well, look,
right?
And we lament about this all the time. I go on YouTube or Facebook, and what do I see? I see coaches posting videos of their students, mostly junior players. I don't see them hitting the serve. I don't see them hitting the return. What I see is, look at my student hit this windshield wiper forehand over and over. I'm going, okay, well, if they don't serve well, if they don't return serve well, they're not getting to that part of the point.
Right.
And so, guys, listen, it really applies to us. And so I hope that's a good takeaway for you guys today from today's episode. Jeff, anything else before we sign off today?
No, I think, if you decide to make that leap and go play national events, there's a totally different atmosphere at a national event than there is in league tennis and league national events. Whole different animal.
It's a good animal.
And it's so worth the effort. It's just a different vibe, and I happen to like that vibe better than the other. Yeah. I love the national tournament vibe, being in the event, being around the players. It's just I find it to be just a really great tennis experience.
Yeah. Well, look, everyone says, oh, well, geez, why would I want to spend $85 to enter singles? And the chances are I got to play one of the top seeds. And, well, there's a whole host. It's not just, and everyone says, well, gee, it's a great tennis lesson. Well, it might be for those 75 minutes that you're on the court with this top seed. That's going to be an eye-opener going, oh, okay, in my age group, Here's the top. Here's the level I got to work to. That's not a bad lesson. But as you just alluded to, Jeff, all the other periphery things that go into it that become a learning experience. Number one, sitting around and watching other matches.
Right.
Sitting around and actually overhearing. If you're a first-time guy, no one knows you. It's a little tough to, hey, I'm so-and-so, as you break into the lunchtime crowd of, here are the 3 of the top 5 seeds who are sitting here.
Right.
And why not sit at the table and just listen in and see what's going on? Maybe one of those guys is going to be able to, say, hey, you want to hit a few balls. There's so many things that could possibly happen at that national event that are way outside of that thumping. Let's call it what it is.
Right. And listen, we've all been thumped.
Oh.
And listen, I've even in the national seniors since getting back in, I've been thumped. In fact, the year John and I won our bronze ball at Indian Wells doubles hard courts, the reason we played for the bronze is because in the semis we got thumped 1-0.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a number right there.
The guys just played great ball, and these are guys that we went 3 sets with at the grass courts earlier in the year, and we were feeling good about it, but for whatever.
Right.
They played great ball. The one guy just could not miss a return, and it was just like, whoa. And it was over fast. It was like, okay, someone get me a beer, because I'm really not sure just what happened. But
I guess we're playing for the bronze.
So I just want everybody to know that listen, I'm not immune to it, even though I'm fortunate enough to be able to compete and get fairly far in a tournament and sometimes be in the hunt for the gold. Listen, not immune. You get spanked every now and then. That's
right. All right, guys. Well, listen, thanks for hanging out with us today. Another episode of the Gold Ball Hunting Podcast. Hey, one thing that I want to mention to you, if you love what we're doing here at Gold Ball Hunting, would you today just send one friend, one tennis player, an email? Just say, hey, I love these guys. I think you got to check them out. And just put in the URL goldballhunting.com and let them start there. We would really, really appreciate that. Jeff, we are offering a free coaching call, free private coaching call, 10, 12, 15 minutes, however long it takes. There's one thing in your game right now that's just not getting figured out, holding you back from getting the ultimate result you want, singles and or doubles. Let's get on the call and see if Jeff and I can't help you start getting the result that you do want. The way to do that, go over to goldballhunting.com, drop in a first name and email address, click the button, and you'll get access to the online calendar scheduler where you, not us, you get to pick the date and time that works best for your schedule. Jeff, what do we want the fine folks to do right now?
Like us, share us, please subscribe, let us know what you think down below. Really, let us know. And if you're on iTunes and Stitcher, rate and review, please. It helps.
Outstanding. Guys, get out there today. Wow, beautiful day here in Northern California. Get out there today. Help someone else have a spectacular day. Jeff, we are doing this again tomorrow.
Can't wait.